What's going on, you guys? Hope you're freaking fantastic. Freaking day today. It's freaking Tuesday, February already. It's February. I can't believe it's already the first week of February. Um, my name is Coach Patricia Garcia. We'll give it a few seconds, let some people jump on, and people get notified, right? So, today I'm going to be talking about how do you see yourself? I don't know if I've talked about this in a while, but I'm going to talk about this because I feel like I had a conversation with a client, so I think that's something that I want to talk about. So if you're new to my live on TikTok, Instagram, wherever, hit that like so that more people get notified, and drop a comment if you have any questions. I'll answer them at the end of the live. But I'm Patricia Garcia. I'm an online fitness coach. I help people build muscle, lose fat, and just create a healthier lifestyle. Okay. So today I'm going to be talking about how do you see yourself. All right. Um, it's been a day. It's been a day. This weather's just been you know, up and down. So okay. So I often hear my clients say this a lot, and they don't see themselves as a version of themselves that they desire to be. So when you're first starting your fitness journey, it's a common feeling to remember that we all start somewhere. So if you're new to this fitness journey or you already fell off track because by New Year's, by Valentine's Day, a lot of people already fell off track. They already fell off track. They already gave up on their, New Year's resolution goals or whatever. But it's because you don't see yourself as that version of you that you want to be. So when it comes to this journey, you have to remember one thing: you're becoming your best self, and that's going to be a marathon, and it's not going to be a sprint because it takes time and effort and patience to see the results. So instead of focusing on the end goal, let's focus on the steps that it takes to get there. So a lot of it is you don't see yourself as a version of you that you want to be right now. You don't see it. So a lot of times that happens, and you go back and forth, and you start yo-yoing in this lifestyle. So that means you start and you stop, you start and you stop, and you start and you stop because you don't see yourself as the version of you that you want to be. You know. So the first step is you have to set realistic goals for yourself. It's important to know what you want to achieve. So if you don't know what you want to achieve, then you don't really know where you're going. And this will give you something to work towards and help you measure your progress. A lot of it stems from your mind and the inner conversations that you're having with yourself. Okay. So if you're struggling right now, it's what are you talking about to yourself? What are you saying to yourself? How do you see yourself every day? You have to see yourself as a version of you that you desire to be in the long haul, not right now. You don't see it right now. The future you don't see. So it's hard to see yourself as, this person that's going to the gym, eating healthy, becoming a better version of themselves because you're barely starting. So your mind hasn't believed it. Does that make sense? So once you start taking the steps that you should be doing, even if you're going to the gym, even if you're eating healthy, a lot of people fall off track because they don't see themselves as the healthiest version of themselves. So you have to set a realistic goal for yourself. And that falls into the next step is believing in yourself. Because you have the power within you to reach your goals. You just have to believe in yourself, and you have to surround yourself with the right people and the right environment to support you. You can't let anyone else's negativity bring you down. So if your environment is not supportive to what you want to do, it's going to be a lot easier for you to fall off track. It's going to be a lot easier for people to pull you on all different directions. And I'm telling you this based on my experience. I had to literally create a different environment for myself because it was easier for me to be tempted to do what the people around me were doing. And that also means your friends, your work, yeah, just any type of environment that is pulling you away from who you want to be. So you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe that this is who you're going to be. Who do I desire to be? Who do I want to be? So a lot of times we fall off track because we don't believe in ourselves. We don't believe that this is who we're going to be. It's a lifestyle. This is my life. This is the direction that I'm heading. And so the longer you keep, going, it's going to become easier for you to do it. The habits are going to start sticking, and you're going to start living your life in a different way than most people don't. So you have to also remember that a healthy lifestyle is also eating well and exercising regularly. That is the key to reaching your goals. But becoming the best version of you of yourself, like you have to have that desire in you, because you have that power within you. You have the power to change. You have that power. You just have to make the decision, and you have to desire it so much that no matter what gets in the way, you're going to keep pushing forward. No matter what happens, if you fell off track, whatever, you have to see yourself as that version of you that you want to be, because you will get there. I promise you, you will. You just have to believe so hard in yourself, not have other people believe in you, not have people push you to be there, but you have to believe in yourself, because if you don't believe in yourself, that version of you, you're not going to be able to see it. You're not going to be able to see that this is the version of me that I am going to be. So that's what you have to build inside of you, that willpower, that you are seeing yourself as the healthiest version of yourself. Like, talk to yourself as, your best friend would. Talk to yourself. How do you see yourself? How do you have these inner conversations with yourself? That is the only way that this is going to stick. If your inner conversations are not healthy and they're very negative, they're not going to stick. You're not going to be able to stick through this lifestyle. And I'm telling you guys this by experience. But you have to keep telling yourself who you want to be over and over and over again until it becomes natural, and you start hitting it. Because even if you're going to the gym 5-6 times a week, even if you're eating healthy, a lot of people don't see the body change because they don't see themselves changing. They don't see themselves, they don't see the progress that they're making. They don't see themselves as all the things that they've been doing to change their lifestyle. So all of it starts from your mind. Once you once you start changing your mind and start, telling it what to do, your body will follow. Does that make sense? So you have to focus so much on your mind, and the body will follow. Like, you'll be able to stick longer through it and stop going back and forth and yo-yoing through your diet, yo-yoing through the workouts, yo-yoing through this lifestyle where you like stop for 3 weeks, or you're really consistent for 3 weeks and then you fall off track because you don't see yourself as that version yet. And the longer you keep pushing forward, the longer that you keep going, it's going to stick. It's going to become that habit. The habit won't stick until you see yourself as that version that goes to the gym, that eats healthy. And you don't have to like eat super, super healthy, but that is consistent. Even with consistency, you're not going to see yourself as that version, because I've also seen it too, where even when you lose the weight, you still see yourself as a different version of yourself because you haven't actually changed the way you see yourself. And then you gain all this weight back. That happened to me. Like, even when I got the body and I lost the weight and I got the abs and I got the muscle, whatever, I gained 20 pounds right after because I didn't see myself as that version. So it didn't stick. The lifestyle didn't stick with me, or the habits that I created. And I spent all this time, losing the weight and, getting the muscle. And then I lost it all in like a month because I didn't see myself as that version of myself. I didn't see myself as, the version that I truly want to be for the long term. Right now, I'm able to sustain it because I see myself as this version that, is healthy, that is fit, that, I want to fit in my clothes. I want to feel confident. I want to feel this certain way. And so I lean more into the feeling. And when you lean more into the feeling, then the body's going to stick. The body's going to follow because you're telling yourself, oh, you want to be healthy. Oh, you want to do this. Oh, you want to do that. But if you're telling yourself all this negative stuff, then it's not going to stick. And you're going to be like, you're going to go to the gym all you want, and you're going to eat healthy all you want, but you're not going to see your body change because you don't believe in yourself. You don't believe that this is the lifestyle for you, or you don't believe that, that you're doing all this hard work. Does that make sense? So it's also important to, remember that progress is slow at first, but it's going to be steady. It's going to be steady. So you can't beat yourself up if you don't see the results overnight. If you don't see the results right away, you just got to keep putting in the work, and eventually you'll get there. Eventually you're going to get there. Does that? I'm trying to break this this thing that I always say. Does that make sense? Because I always say that. But that's the key thing that I had a conversation with a client like 2 days ago, and she's like, how can I stay on track? And I told her, I was like, you are not staying on track because, number one, you don't see yourself as this version. So even if you're going to the gym and getting your workouts in and you are eating healthy, you have to see yourself as that person already doing this. Like, are you actually grocery shopping? Are you actually meal prepping? Are you actually setting time for the gym? Are you actually, becoming the version that you actually want to be? And it's not going to seem natural at first. Like, it's not, because your mind is going to keep you in fear. It's going to keep you in the comfortable zone. So you don't see it right now. But the more you keep doing, your your brain is going to follow. Your mind's going to follow, and then the body's going to follow. So instead of sticking to like, I want to, lose 20 pounds, I want to lose this or whatever, don't focus on the outside factor, but focus on how you're seeing yourself. Focus on, when you look in the mirror, what are your thoughts telling you? You know, like when you're brushing your teeth, when you're taking a shower, what are those thoughts throughout the day telling you? Because even if you're going to the gym, but you don't see yourself as, this healthy person, fit person, or whatever it is that you desire to be, throughout the day, then you're not going to change and you're not going to see yourself as this version. And then you're going to fall back into your old habits, the old things that you were doing, because that's where you've been comfortable. Does that make sense? Um, so that's like something I wanted to talk about, is that you have to set realistic goals for yourself. You have to set things that you can achieve. Like February just started. So you should have already had an intention for this month. You should have already set, like, every week on Sunday, I set an intention for myself for the week. Like, what are my intentions going into the week? What is my intention of me eating healthy? What is my intention of me going to the gym? I don't go to the gym to look good. I really don't. I go to the gym because of the way it makes me feel, like, no matter what. And when you follow the feeling, you start becoming addicted to it. You start becoming more inclined to do those things because you know how it makes you feel. So you have to follow your feeling. How are you feeling? And then if you're not feeling that great, then you have to sit with that feeling and realize, like, why am I feeling this way? Like Sunday I cried and I don't even know why, but I was just emotional. I let my feelings, go, but I still went to, like, that was my rest day, but the next day I still went to the gym. So like our feelings are always going to come up, but you can't let those feelings just sit in there for so long because then you are going to fall back to like being sad or depressed, have anxiety, all these other things. And you can change the way you think by just observing your thoughts. And so that's what's going to keep you believing in yourself and seeing yourself as, I'm doing so great. I'm seeing my body change. I'm fitting better into my clothes. Oh my God, it feels so amazing that I already lost the weight. Like sitting in that, like that feeling that you've already accomplished is going to push you further to keep going. Like when I was trying to lose weight, about 5, 6 months ago, when I was like 20, 25 pounds heavier, um, I like had to tell myself every single day, like, I'm shredded, I'm this, I'm that, or whatever. And at first I didn't believe it. Like I didn't see it. And now fast forward, 6 months into it, um, I see myself like this. And I literally tell myself, I write in my journal every day, I am healthy, I am healthy. I wake up motivated. I wake up like this. And it's like you're talking to yourself. It's like you're telling yourself a story about who you want to be. But you got to do this every single day. You can't just do it whenever, like one day you do, one day you don't. I literally had to tell myself like 2 months, like just telling myself like how I saw myself. I didn't believe it at first. I didn't see it. But the more you keep telling yourself this, it's going to stick. So I was like, through my life, through my fitness lifestyle, I always went back and forth, gaining weight, losing weight, gaining weight, losing weight, gaining weight. And I was exhausted. I was like, why can't I just stay healthy? Why can't I just, I work so hard for my body. I'm going to the gym, especially when I'm in prep. Like when I'm getting ready for a competition, I work all this hard. And I see it with a lot of competitors too, is they bust their ass for 3, 4 months and then they let their body go. And it's like, well, what's the point? Like if you work so hard for it, um, and then you just let yourself go. And that's happened to me where I was like 100 pounds and I went into 150, and then I went back to 125 and then 145, and I would just go back and forth and I would just yo-yo through my weight. And it's like frustrating, it's frustrating until I realized that it was my self-concept and the way I saw myself. And every day I would avoid the mirror whenever I gain a little bit more weight or I'm a little bit more fluffy. I like don't look at, like, I won't look in the mirror. Like I just avoid it. And that's not like something that, one, it was because of my insecurities. And so I just didn't want to face it, that the fact that I felt fluffy, or I felt fat, or I felt whatever. Until I was like, no, like I have to take ownership and I have to take responsibility for what's going on with me in my mind. And I have to change the story, because I don't want to, a lot of people think that we go to the gym to look a certain way, but that's not really why I go to the gym. And like we all go to the gym for different reasons. My reason is because, it helps my mental health. That's my main reason. Um, and the body's just the byproduct of all of that. But if you want to live this lifestyle, then you have to change the way you see yourself, because a lot of people around you are not going to live this lifestyle. It's hard. They think it's hard, or they think it's this, or they think it's that, or there's so much judgment around this lifestyle. But you're not any different. Like you're not different. You're not weird. You want to become a better version of yourself. That's why we go to the gym, to become a better version of ourselves. It's not about getting the dream body. And you have to stop looking at it as, I want to look like this model, or I want to look like this influencer I saw on social media. But you have to look at it as, how, like, what do I want for myself? How do I want to feel? How do I actually want to, you know how do I see myself? Like, I never would have imagined I would have had muscle, like, or had abs or anything like that, until I actually achieved it. And I was like, oh, okay. And then after that, I just started building. So you have to believe in yourself and see yourself. And you're not going to believe in yourself until you see yourself as that version of you. And you're not going to know what your body's going to look like. Like I didn't know what my body was going to look like until I started leaning down and cutting and building more muscle. So everybody's body's going to be different. Like you're never going to look like the model that you look up to, or the influencer. That's how I started my fitness journey. Is like I literally saw this girl that was a bikini competitor, and I wanted to look like her, and I never did, because it wasn't, my body's different than hers, and all this other stuff. So instead of comparing yourself to like what everybody else is doing, or how they're looking, or what they're doing, is just focus on you and what you're actually doing for you. Like, focus on you. Your thoughts should be with you all the time. It shouldn't be outside of you. It shouldn't be like what you're seeing outside of you. And that's where it gets tricky, because we see other things and then our mind starts making up these stories that are not true. Does that make sense? So you have to actually just create the story of you, of who you desire to be. Like, what does the future you look like? The future you that you want to be. Um, I have some notes. Oh yeah. So like, what is your purpose? What is your purpose in living a healthy lifestyle? Like, the forever you has no doubt. Like, this isn't the end of your story. And so like the forever future you is waiting for you. And so there is no end of the story yet. Like, the end of my story is not there yet. And that's a lot of times where we get, stuck, because we're like, oh, this is it. This is how it's going to be. This is how it's always going to be. And that's not true. Like, your story is always going to be changing. If you don't like something, then you got to start changing the way you see it, the way you think about it, the way that you're seeing yourself, because this is your story. No one's going to take that away from you. Um, and so, like, I think the future you has to ask yourself, can I change? Like, you have the power to change. So it's not about can you, is will you? Will you make the changes that you need to do to get to where you want to be? And it's not just about, once you start living this lifestyle, a lot of other opportunities are going to open up for you. It's not just about, like, I think a lot of people don't look at it as to why they want to live this lifestyle. Like, why do you want to make changes? Is it because you're not happy? Is it because you're, you know, you're not happy with your current situation? So you know that you need to focus on yourself and become a better version of yourself? Or what is the real reason why? Like, everyone has to have a deeper reason as to why they want to make a change. You know, like for me, it's like I want to, become the best version of myself. And the only way I'm going to do that is if I start becoming the best version of myself. And so if you want a better life, then you have to become the better version of yourself every single day. And what does the better version of yourself look like? Have you sat down and actually saying, well, this is, I'm Patricia and this is what I do. This is blah, 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 blah. Like literally create a list of the qualities that you want. Not just physically, but like create the qualities that you desire to have and start focusing on that. Like for me, it's like I want to be focused. I want to be motivated. I want to be consistent. I want to be, like confident. I want to be, I want my self-esteem to always be high. Like all these things are qualities that I want, but I actually have to do the work. And that's something that you're going to have to work on yourself, is like create the list that you actually want, of the qualities, not just like the body aspect of the physical aspect. What's up, Jared? What's up? Happy Tuesday. All right, I'm gonna stay on TikTok, but that's all I have for you guys. It's my first. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little bit nervous because it's my first time going live on YouTube, so I'm all red. I was kind of nervous, but I did it. But that is all I have for you guys, Instagram and freaking YouTube. So I will talk to you guys later, and I hope you have the best freaking day of your life. And stay on track. Peace, love. But I'll stay on TikTok. But if you guys have any questions,